Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm doing a little talk about AMC because there's obviously some things going on, and mentioned in the last video that the stock price was gonna be around $5, which is exactly what's happening. It says $3 right now, but then you have to consider that you're adding in the value of ape. So you had that value of ape, which spiked up the other day to $2. And if you combine them, well, it comes back to $5, exactly like what I stated in the last video. So that's something that it's a very common thing that happens with a reverse stock split. A lot of people don't understand how this works. So prior to the stock split occurring, there's usually some sort of spike. Um, and then the other side, well, in this case, is a little different because you have two separate stocks that are actually combining. So that's what causes this kind of weird drop off that occurred the other day because it needs to combine at a certain price. But you know that it was going to be around the $5 ish because it's becoming AMC. Um, and that's the way. I can't really go into details of how to explain this because that will be very long, but that's kind of what happens. So it'll be somewhere around there, more than likely. There is a very small chance that prior to this happening, that there could be a massive jump, but the odds of that, the way it seems like it's probably not going to happen. I wanted to talk about what Adam Aaron said the other day too about, I'm not sure if it's going to be here, but he mentioned something about if you reverse stock split, it's essentially the same. He gave an explanation that if you had one hand holding 10 $1 pieces and you had the other hand holding a $10 bill, something of that nature. And so that is true to a certain extent, yes. When you reverse stock split, the whole idea is that you're not really changing anything, which is true. But what happens is that you dilute usually after your stock split. So when you dilute, it's a little different. Um, but even with the whole concept of a reverse stock split, I made a video also about the whole explanation about stock splitting. And if you want to look at it another way, if you reverse stock split, let's say you had a puzzle, for example, and you had 1,000 pieces, and let's say your puzzle, if you lost one piece of 1,000 piece puzzle, you can more or less still see the image. But let's say now your 1,000 piece puzzle becomes a one piece puzzle. If you lose that one piece now, well, you just lost the whole image. So essentially, he gives you half of the details. A lot of times he does that, I realize. So he gives you half of the details. And the other problem is the dilution part of it. So the dilution part of it is, yes, you have a $10 bill, maybe in your right hand, but when you dilute it, if you can imagine your stock, it's like any other item in the world. Same with video game machines or collectibles. If you have one of a kind, one item, or a very limited amount, the value of it goes up. Well, if you dilute it out, if your item had 10 billion of the same copy, nobody's really going to care anymore. Everyone's going to be like, well, I mean, I could get it here, I could get it there. I mean, why do I need it for? So essentially, your now $10 item that you had, or even if it was $1, whatever it is, if they continue to dilute it, it becomes worthless, and that's really what it is. And I'm not exactly sure why is he diluting it. I mean, I knew that he was gonna go and get his dilution. It wasn't a question about it. He made his statement, and he's gonna get it. And like I said, he kind of sort of did it legally because he did do a vote. The vote is obviously a bit skewed, but he did it in a way whereby, again, he gave you half the details, which is that he could have actually done it without doing a vote. He could have just forced it through. Everyone would have been angry with him. And, it could have still happened. A lot of people are unaware of this, so that can actually happen. But It's quite rare because I mean that will make the company look bad, and then a whole bunch of people will just jump out anyways. But it's kind of the same thing. People here are still upset. There's a number of people who are, and there are a few that I guess they don't really understand what this whole reverse stock split is. So another thing too is that when you reverse stock split, let's say there was no dilution. Yes, you will have your value, whatever it may be. So let's say you had 10 shares at $1 and you dilute it down, or sorry, not dilute it down, but you reverse stock split and your 10 shares at $1 now becomes one share at $10. Yes, same value, but from the outsider's point of view, especially those who own the share, they feel a little bit uncomfortable to purchase the stock now at $10. A lot of people will be like, I mean, I could have bought it earlier for $1. Why should I buy it at $10 now? So that's why I was saying in my last video, or quite a while back, when I made the explanation about stock splitting. So when the stock splits, when it splits normally from a very expensive to lower price, then it drives people to buy. But if you do it the other way, the original holders don't really want to buy. It's going to be people who are completely blind to the stock, and they're going to be the ones who are going to think that if you reverse stock split, then this stock went up. And that's usually what they do on these articles. They try to get people to jump in because a lot of times they know that people are wanting to jump out and then the price just drops. So I wouldn't be surprised on Thursday they might say that, oh, AMC stock price jumped by 10x. But in reality, it's just a stock split. That's all it is, a reverse stock split. So I just wanted to go through that. Personally, I'm still holding my shares. I hold 860 shares, and I hold 800 some shares of APE. I personally am a bit pessimistic on this because I've dealt with reverse stock splits before, and I would say maybe 9 out of 10 times it's bad. So there is that one chance, that small chance that it would be good. I did have one stock split that did do very well. I've also had stocks that changed symbols, and that actually did very well. Changed companies did very well. But really, the reverse stock split, percentage wise, it's for my case, it's been very bad. I'm not sure about others. I know there are some rare cases like GE that did pretty well. But I mean, in my experience, I haven't had really any good experience. So what a lot of people, like I said, don't understand is that whatever price that they reverse at. So let's say they reverse today, they're reversing at $3. Magically, you're going to see it come back down to $3 again. And a lot of people don't get that. And I have a cost average base of $7. It's going to be $70 when it reverse stock splits. And the idea to try to lower my cost average down to that price again, it's pretty insane. But I mean, I'm going to just see how it goes. The company itself, I know it's not doing too well. There was an article that was pre-published saying that they've already they're pre-announcing that they will be closing some shops throughout America, which is understandable. A lot of people don't want to admit it, but there are a lot of AMCs out there that just have no customers. There's one in my area, has barely any customers. I mean, it's understandable that they will shut down. There's all sorts of companies doing it. Times are tough. There's Dunkin' Donuts. I believe a lot of these retail shops, the Starbucks, and I believe in some Walmarts, they're shutting down. So it's a time where, with this whole inflation and job cuts and things like that, it's going to be bad. And so I guess as a company, AMC is trying to be prepared for that. And that's why they want to dilute. Hopefully, that's the real reason. Although like I said, I'm not really sure what their books look like. They could be thinking something totally different, but I'm hoping that's what they think. But obviously, they made a poor decision with the whole Hycroft thing. That was a flop. Although I'm not sure how much money was involved in there. I know, like I said, buying gold is a very common, old, traditional way of battling against inflation. But with the way Hycroft is, that did not work very well. So, I mean, I'm not sure exactly what do they have planned. Obviously, they're not going to tell you, or they're going to only tell you half of the news, which is what he keeps doing. So, I mean, just for everyone who's out there, like, it's not financial advice. Just be prepared. Be prepared for anything, because um, personally, I don't think that it's going to be a short battle. If there is any chance, it'll be over years. And like I said, if there really is a squeeze, it's like a lottery. It's going to be only very few remaining that are actually going to benefit from this. It's really hard to say whether it's good to sell or good to buy. I personally don't even know myself. I was green for the longest time. I had many opportunities to sell for green, but now I'm heavily red. So personally, I'm at this point where it doesn't really matter. If I lose it all, I lose it all, kind of thing. So and I know that choice is not for everyone. So just have a plan, be prepared for anything. If there are a lot of people on YouTube that are telling you, oh, it's going to squeeze, or I know this, I know that. You really can't trust anybody, because obviously that's what got a lot of people in this mess, is that they trusted everybody, and that's just how it is. But I mean, I'm sorry to bring anyone bad news. I know everyone wants to be positive. It is very hurtful for some people. I know they put. I've know somebody who has thousands of shares, and that was a large sum of money. And I mean, we all make decisions, so we all have to live up to our decisions. So like I said, for everyone, good luck. Personally, I don't even know what I'm going to do right now. I'm just waiting, hoping that prior to this conversion that there is some kind of action, but I'm not expecting it at this point, because I do expect it to be happening at about the $5 range. So, and they haven't even discussed what will the price be after the combination of the APE and AMC. They've only discussed about the number of shares you would get. So I'm just gonna wait and see how it goes. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.